morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is January 20th. It is Tuesday morning, and the market is red, as we thought from last night with the whole tariff issue and everything else going on with Greenland and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and see what's going on this morning. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? There's your red heat map right there. It does say U.S. futures tumble as Trump tariff threats ignite global trade war fears and spark broad market sell-off. So there you go. I did put in the night note to short the Qs down, so they should be dipping down pretty good at the beginning of the day. How Greenland could turn into a big tech problem, according to Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson and American Friction. Dow futures treasury prices drop. Stock futures signal big losses after Trump threatens new tariffs over Greenland. Trump floats 200% tariff on French wines after Macron snubs. So there you go. With what's going on in our global economy and all that good stuff like that. So it does look kind of crazy this morning. So let's go ahead and look at our SPY, Mag 7, Qs, all that good stuff. See where we're sitting today. And then we'll see what else is happening here. Look at them. That SPY is way down. I mean, it's down to the 50 already. We may have to look at it to see if it just wants to bounce because it's all the way down here. It's way down, and the Qs as well. Let's see. They're dipping. Whoa, they went right past there. I mean, there you go. There's your 609 already, Sam. So I think you would mention like 613 because you were 610 right there. 613 we were talking about. We're already at 609, and they aren't looking pretty. So we'll see what happens this morning, and you can see they just jumped off a cliff. So they are down this morning, so we'll have to see how much further they want to dip down right there this morning and what's going on. But they obviously could dip down some more with all the global tensions going on, and IWM took a nice little dip right there. So let's go ahead and see what else is happening over here. Anything popping is BTTC. Look at this guy. This one's like one of the few poppers right there this morning, and that doesn't look too bad right there. It's a technology company, Black Titan, and that thing doesn't look bad at the moment, so keep an eye on that. There's your top wealth group. We were just looking at it the other day, TWG, and it's up 78%. RAPT right there. That gapped up like $22. That's pretty up there good. Icon, we were talking about it last night. It was already spiked up. It did pull back. Polar right there, Polar Power, and that one was spiked up and also pulled back. And KEP looks like it gapped up there this morning. So there's a couple good ones that ran up already. And UMC, United Microelectronics right there. So a couple of them that ran. Let's go ahead and look at our Mag 7 and all them guys, see what's going on. Silver and NGLD and JNUG. Yeah, JNUG looking really good. That one's up pretty big. If I could type it in. Hold on. There we go. Holy cow, look at that. Gold's up pretty big this morning. That was huge. And your silver's obviously going to be up pretty good this morning. So there you go with them. And let's see what else is going on here. Apple down a little bit there this morning. That dipped down. Amazon, that's also down. So these guys aren't looking pretty good. They're not looking good at the moment. And Google's also pulled back $9 right to the 20. So I'd say everything taking a big dip. Meta down 15. They're going down the trend lines, guys. Microsoft right here, that's pulling back, and that's down $6. So I hope everybody was short in the market on Friday. That's why I was selling all my positions. Now you can see why I say you never know what's going to happen over a 3-day weekend, guys. Anything can happen. You know what can happen? You wake up and the market looks like that. That's why I always tell you guys, be careful, especially over any weekend. But the 3-day weekends, for whatever reason, loves to have crazy things go on. I don't know why, but Tesla back down to its trend line. And these guys all look like they're going to be dipping down more. Here's AMC. That's dipping down. GameStop pulling back a little bit. Chewy was looking pretty good, but it is pulling back right now. It still doesn't even look that bad right there. And Unity right now is way pulled back. So we're going to be looking at Netflix. They have earnings today. I think, Netflix, I think we have to get options on Netflix on the earnings. I think that's the play right there, guys. Netflix. Netflix earnings right there, guys. I think that's the play. That looks so good this morning anyway. I'll keep an eye on it today. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right at the end of the day, unless this thing starts gapping up pretty big, and we'll keep an eye on it. It did run up a little bit. We'll see what it wants to do here. But yeah, I think Netflix scheduled to announce earnings today after market analysts expect non-GAAP of 55 and revenue of 12. Prediction shows 76% probability of beating estimates right there. Let's see what their numbers are supposed to be. 55 to that's the estimates right there, and their estimate was 11.97 billion. This is saying 12, so it's saying it's supposed to beat it. I don't know, that's not too big, but 76 probability that they're going to beat the estimates. It does look good right here, let's put it that way. You curling out the basement, I would say chart wise Netflix looks good, and they have earnings right there. I'm not an earnings person, but that looks good based off the chart. AVGO right here dipping down pretty good, and MU pulling back a little bit this morning. TSM following suit, and it looks like the entire market's down, so it doesn't matter. SMCI, AMD, they're all down and pulling back. Everybody's hitting trend lines, so I got to see how things are going to open up here. I'll be on in the Discord. I know Ben's off, but I'll definitely be on. Rhett will have it up, and I'll be up on that one. I think Laptop Travel may hop on. I'm not sure, but he may be on too. QCOM way down there. Snow is coming down. It looked like this weekend in New Jersey, snow is coming down. And PayPal right here dipping down some more. Intel and Dell, they were both down a little bit this morning. Dell wasn't even looking bad before. That's going to pop off of there. That's why we had to be patient. IBM, there you go. IBM actually doesn't look too bad right there. So let's keep an eye on that one, see if it does want to try to have any kind of bounce. Palantir dipping. We said last night it wasn't looking great. And Sophie wasn't looking great. And there you go. Marai and all these guys I was saying, they weren't looking so good either. And that's why, because Bitcoin and everything is pulling back a little bit. MicroStrategy right here, that's pulling back this morning pretty good. All right, back down to the 20. And he was like, man, I just had this thing moving, and you can't keep Bitcoin going for more than a week. Hood right here pulling back, Coinbase pulling back, and then Bull isn't looking so bullish at the moment. And let's see what Space is doing. That's actually looking like it wants to set up. We might want to keep an eye on that. Boeing right there is pulling back. It was way in the top. It's still up there. It just might pull out. DJT pulling back, obviously, if the market's at red. And Nike pulling back pretty good. So we'll wait until the next time the tariff Supreme Court decision is going to be, and we'll look at Nike, McDonald's right here. That'll probably set up the run, so you can keep an eye on that. Disney pulling back pretty good, Luis Rodriguez, and like I said, they look like they almost want to bounce off these trend lines. Oxy, but we'll have to see how they open. Oxy right here is down a little bit, and Exxon Mobil is up a little bit right there and looking pretty good. CVX, that's down a little bit, but that doesn't look too bad either right there. And let's see, that WAI, that is Top King. That was that Top King win. What was the other one? Hold on, now I'm confused because Top King we were looking at the other day. Oh, TWG, that's Top Wealth. All right, we were looking at Top King, not Top. I don't know if we were looking at this. We were looking at Top King. I was like looking at it like I'm kind of confused there. Anyway, how about your UVXY and all them guys? They must be looking good. And again, they jumped up there, and we'll have to see how they open up, and obviously, and see if it really wants to cruise. But there you go with your UVXY. It is in that channel right there, so you could have it bouncing around for a little bit. Let's look at our futures. There you go. That's all red up there. But what I wanted to look at was, what were we going to look at? The VIX down here. Where the heck is it? There it is. It's the green one over here. And let's see what the VIX is looking like this morning, because that's running up, and that is looking pretty strong right there, guys. So that bucks at 200. You might have a little run up right here, and then obviously we'll have a nice pullback. So good opportunity. So you'll want to either put things down today probably, or short the Qs or something like that. Gold and silver looking pretty good this morning. And let's look at our nuclear stocks and see what they're up to, because that wasn't looking too bad. But NKLR is pulled back right there. Oklo right here is pulled back as well. SMR down, NNE down right now. So yeah, not a whole lot looking good besides your gold, silver, JNUG, and shorten down the queues. So that's what it looks like at the moment, guys. I would say bargain shopping for sure. UVIX right there at your two-time VIX right now, and that's not looking too bad. It's in the channel. You can see it was trying to that should have been our indication right there. I wasn't looking at it, but they were trying to jump into that 20. Every time you see them trying to get in there, they're going to. It was looking pretty good. The setup back here, we would have known something was going on, but we just weren't. That's why we have to look at that VIX more often. I know we sometimes forget to take a peek at it, but it does tell you some valuable information down here. We would have known this guy was getting set up right here off the 20, rolling up and curling up off that MACD. So that would have been a good one if we had been paying attention to the VIX. It would have told us completely. We kind of knew, though, just based off of the charts looking like they were. And then, of course, the news, and we had a 3-day weekend. So it wasn't that hard, but we probably would have caught the setup on Thursday and had known that something was going down. KORU, this one. Wow, look at that. Laptop travel from April till now. That's crazy. You had mentioned this $31 to $260. I remember laptop travel said South Korea's economy is going to be thriving. I'd say it is. That was a good call right there for sure. And let me see. NGLD. What is that? N gold. I think that's gold. So silver, gold, J Nug. There you go. And buyers jump in when the market will recover. And let's see, got stopped out last week. Iron Path again. And let me see. Yeah, we'll see what that wants to get back up on its right path again, because the whole market's on the wrong path right now. So that's for sure. But it will be a good buying opportunity, and things will bounce back. And again, let's look and see if they do want to bounce right off the beginning. I don't know if they will, because this is a good reaction right here. So you could see these bad boys pulling back. But look at the Qs. They're dipped down, but it doesn't look terrible, but it does look pretty bad right there. I'm not going to lie. So I would say it might run up right here and then come down a little bit more in the opening right there. So, but you got to keep an eye on it, because it already gapped down over like almost $11. So that's a pretty good gap down right there. Your SPY is down too. Let's look at crypto and see. Bitcoin's down at 91. It was at 92 last night. So you are pulling back and coming back down to your 50. And I assume they're curling down. You could have a good little pullback with all this stuff going on. Although you would think crypto would run and people would hedge against everything with crypto, but I don't know. I just don't understand what the heck's going on. Ethereum pulling back right here, and maybe they do try to crawl back up, and we'll see what's happening. Solana was already dipping down and continuing to dip down, and here's your Ripple right here. And that one's kind of pulling back. It's definitely not ripping at the moment. Doge and them guys, they had that big dip yesterday or couple days ago, and they looked like they were bottoming out until this morning. So not so optimistic, I would say, this morning. And there's OP, and that looks like it is pulling back some, and that's what your market looks like this morning, guys. MicroStrategy, great time to buy. It probably is a good time down here, guys. I would say this dip opportunity is probably going to be a great one. So what do they have earnings? So yeah, be watching Netflix. I would say that's going to be your go-to, just because of earnings right there. And it's already up, coming out of the basement. Looks pretty good. Should be a good opportunity at 88 right there. And then obviously shorten your Qs, your SPY, gold, and silver. And that's about it, guys. I don't know what else you really want to look at. Even nuclear is not looking that great right there. Fly, that's not flying anymore. Although it looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie right there. It doesn't look too bad with that little dip. That could be a good opportunity right there for Fly. Firefly Aerospace looking pretty good. IREN, that's pulling back. So again, these guys could be great opportunities for everything. There's Redwire right there, MP. So everything in the market's pulling back this morning, including crypto. And yeah, we'll just look for our opportunities. But I think Netflix could be a good one right there. Big banks lobbyists tainted the Clarity Act, and that's why the crypto market dropped. These dips will be bought up before the end of the week. I agree, Luis Rodriguez. maybe back around Thursday, Friday, it starts looking a little bit better. But today, it should be pulling back here. And that is what our market looks like at the moment. Yeah, Bitcoin 91, Ethereum 31.10, Solana at 129, according to the Stock Cube, Cardano at 35 cents. So that is what we have going on this morning, guys. A whole lot of redness right there. When Netflix looks, I was like, what's that green spot? There's a green spot there. It's probably like Exxon Mobil or so. Oh, gold. There you go. And NEM. Not sure what that is, but there's some and then what's that? Something. Some oil and gas ones up a little bit right there. Kinder Morgan, that's looking pretty good. Expand Energy Group. And what is the CB right there? Is Chubb Limited, and of course Netflix. And then you have DHI right there. I don't know what that's doing, but it looks pretty good. I don't know what that even is. Dr. Horton, residential construction, and that looks like he's going to be cruising along some more right there for the good old Dr. Horton. So you can keep an eye on him. I guess he beat earnings. I'm not sure what they did, but they do have earnings today. I guess I don't know. Yeah, they already posted it. So it is earnings season. It's a financial blood letting right here. Be fearless, but the fear, it's financial bloodletting, you said. Anyway, there you go. Coin and Ripple pulled their support for the revised Clarity Act bill, and you're thinking Q0 DTE puts for a quick flip, and then in the calls for Friday. I agree right there, Sam. So we'll be talking about that in the Discord this morning. You know that, and I'll hop on right around. I'll try to get on a little bit earlier, but I generally get on right around 9:15 in the morning. I know Ben's not around. He's on vacation, so he won't be doing his morning show. So here you go. We just went over everything, and I'm telling you exactly what to look at. So that's Ben picked a pretty good week, I guess, to go on vacation. If you're going to go on vacation, it's going to be one of these red weeks. So yeah, I would say we'll definitely be looking at Q puts. It's already down so much, Sam. So we do have to see what's happening. It could just try to bounce. So we'll definitely look at it, and then definitely look at these calls. And I think we'll get that bounce happening. I don't think it's going to be dipping down forever here. So we'll be watching it in the Discord. You guys know that. So I'll be on there for the live trading around 9:15. Give you a little overview, and a lot can change between 7:15 and 9:15. You got 2 hours, and we'll see. Maybe the market will want to bounce a little bit, but I doubt it. It is pretty down, and your SPY and Qs are way down already. You would have had to put them down on Friday, and had known something was going on to really do well today. Like I said, they could try to bounce your SPY sitting right here. It's kind of sitting on your look at it. Doesn't look bad right there on that 50. So it does like to bounce off of it, and there's no trend line until all the way down here at 649. I don't know if it's coming down another $40, guys. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on the market to see exactly what it wants to do, which way it wants to go, and what opportunities we have. But I do think we already got that picked out with gold, silver, Netflix for the earnings, and that shortened some Qs down, but we'll be watching that. So Trump's tweets taunts traders. That's great. Yeah, that's TTT right there. TTTT. That should be a stock ticker right there. Laptop Travel. Trump's tweets taunt traders. That should be an ETF. That's for sure. And it can follow his tweets. That would be hilarious. And the Q was the gap up on the VIX on Friday, I would say, and tantalizing tongue twister. Laptop Travel, I would say. So Trump's tweets taunt traders. So yeah, that would be a pretty funny ETF right there, following his tweets and the market reaction with it. But it would be exhausting. You'd definitely need an algorithm to do it. That's for sure. So there you are, everybody. A nice red market for you as crypto's down a little bit. And that's what's going on this morning. And Trump plans Greenland meeting after 200% France tariff threat. So I'm not sure when our meeting's going to be, but that's what it looks like. Dow futures tumble nearly 700 points after Trump threatens new tariffs over Greenland. So there you go, everybody. Icon, that was run up this morning, Luis Rodriguez. It did pull back there this morning. You can see it dip down. I was looking at it earlier. RAPT right there. That one doesn't look too bad. You could keep an eye on that. That looks like it could run up. And CCHH right there ran up, but it did pull back. So we'd have to look at that one today. And that's a restaurant one. And that's what I have for you guys this morning. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord. We'll be on at 9:15. Rhett might be on around 9 o'clock and have it all set up and everything. So look for me in there. Laptop Travel may be on there as well. Markets are getting a shave, a little haircut today, and it's actually a good thing. You always need a haircut, right? It makes you look good, and it's a great opportunity for everyone. And that's why I always say on Friday, especially these 3-day weekends, lock in those profits. You know, I did. I got rid of everything. So I'm in good position. I got cash for all this, and we'll take advantage of, like I said, Netflix and all these opportunities right here. So enjoy your morning, everybody. Trade smart and lock in those profits. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a great day.